What's up, YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire, and I am back for another episode of Route Global 1000. I believe this episode is episode 16. Not exactly sure, but the episode number is in the title. I'm pretty sure this is episode 16. I apologize right now because I realize that I have not been uploading a lot this past week. If you've seen one of my comments on one of the earlier, I think episode 14 or 13 is one of those episodes, I left a comment saying how there's a lot of things going on between school and family, so I can't give as much time. And then there's not that many likes or comments or anything or that much, growth that really encourages me. So I do it at my own pace. I honestly do apologize. I want to do it more often. But likes really do encourage me to push through. But anyway, so forget about all that stuff. Let's pay attention to this actual series. As you can see in the battle box, I have a completely different team than the last team that I used. I have a Mega Kangaskhan, I have a Mega Blaziken, I have a Citrusberry Belly Drum Azumarill, I have a Zapdos, a Rocky Helmet Zapdos. I have a Scarf Latios, and I have a Focus Sash Stealth Rocking Garchomp. Now, the reason I changed this team so drastically is because the goal of this series is to reach the top 1,000. And top 1,000 in the world is basically the top 990 in Japan and top 2 in the United States. If that makes sense to you guys, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you guys actually look at the ratings, you'll notice that as well on the actual website, which I will put a link in the description. Anyway, so I'll just press battle box. We're gonna start this episode, and you're going to see what's up with this team. As you can see right now, we are sitting at a powerful 1828 rating. And you can also see that I played like a crap ton of games. With this team, I've actually only played like 37 games. I've actually been testing many different teams because I was tired of rest talking Gyarados and the hacks and just the inconsistency. So anyway, we find our first opponent, and they are also using a Mega Blaziken centric team. So I really would love to have Rocks set because Rocks, they break the sash of the Garchomp and or Blaziken. It does massive damage to the Zapdos and the Togekiss from the get-go, so that's huge. Blaziken, if I can set up a Swords Dance, I'm in beautiful position to destroy everything. Especially after Rocks, Venusaur doesn't stand a chance. So that's great. And I do have Mega Blaziken because Mega Blaziken hits like it's oh boy. It can do over 40% damage with the Flare Blitz to a 92 EV HP Azumarill. That is massive damage. And without Life Orb Recoil, it actually survives the recoil. So you're not going to kill yourself with the recoil from Flare Blitz and Life Orb. So that's why I run a Mega Blaziken, because it's just... And that added bulk, oh, it's insane. Anyway, so I really want to run Blaziken for this team because I see a Porygon too. I mean, it's dangerous otherwise. As for the other things, Zapdos can come in handy versus the Garchomp. And if it's a Scarf Chomp, oh, it would be really important. Azumarill gets walled by the Venusaur, so that's an issue. Otherwise, it does put in a ton of work. I'm not sure if it can outspeed base 80s. Minimal speed. It can't, so that sucks. I think I'm going to run with the Zapdos. So Garchomp, Blaziken, and Zapdos. The Venusaur is a problem. Venusaur, I haven't seen many Venusaur when I was raiding with this team. Venusaur is actually the issue. I actually lost a game to Venusaur. So my current record with this team is 26-11. You probably saw 224 games and like 100 and whatever wins and 99 losses. That's just overall. But with this team particularly, 26-11. And that's why I started recording again. And that's also another reason why I haven't been recording as often. is because I wanted to use a team that's actually, performing. I don't want to just use some random team. I mean, it's great and all. I mean, I'm sure you guys enjoy whatever you're watching, but I mean, before like I can have guys actually watching my stuff, I'm pretty sure I need to prove myself first. And I figured, in order, like, if I want to prove myself, I need to actually get to the top 1,000 first. So I need to use a team that's consistent, because I don't have all the time in my life to actually, use teams that are well, but they're not all that consistent. Mega Blaziken is very consistent because you can play around a lot of the Pokemon that give it issues, whereas other Pokemon, I mean, it's just pure, it's pure skill and chance. But like when it comes down to Mega Blaziken, as long as you can play around what Blaziken can't really deal with, you're in really good shape, and that's why it's so consistent. Again, you need to be skilled no matter what you're doing. It's just in terms of consistency, it's a lot more consistent in my experience using a Mega Blaziken versus using other Pokemon. At least from my experience. And I've used other teams to rate up in the 1750s and whatnot, but it just hasn't been nearly as consistent as this. And I think right about now I'll just start doing earthquakes. So I set up my rocks. I'm really happy I set up my rocks. And that Togekiss is going to come in. It's going to get damage from the rocks, so that's going to be really nice. And I want to use an Outrage, but this thing is not going to get hurt, so I'm just going to use Earthquake. And I do fear the Venusaur that's sitting all the way in the back. I do know it's there. Versus Porygon 2, I can't exactly just do whatever I want to do versus Porygon 2. I'm just going to keep on using Earthquake versus Porygon 2 until Garchomp goes down, because Garchomp did its thing already. So like, if Mega Venusaur is in the back, I can't exactly be like free. Like, I can't be all jolly and whatever, like all happy and whatnot, because I mean, there's a not a Zapdos. There's a Mega Venusaur in the back. It is massively bulky. Anyways, right now I'm gonna go into Blaziken because Zapdos can't do crap to this thing. I'm going to Blaziken and I'm gonna High Jump Kick. Luckily for me, I haven't missed a single High Jump Kick ever since I started using this team. If I do miss the High Jump Kick, then I'm in trouble. I'm gonna just Mega Evolve right away, go for the High Jump Kick. There were no ghosts on this individual's team. If I missed, that would be unfortunate. If he gets the Thunder Wave, I pretty much lose this game, so I'll probably forfeit. Again, you have to be smart about what you do. I'm going to do the High Jump Kick. Fortunately, we do not miss, so that's amazing. And it one-hit KO an Eviolite Chansey. So I am pretty darn sure that duck, is not going to survive a High Jump Kick. We do have a speed boost now, so we can do a Flare Blitz and do massive damage to whatever we want to do damage to. But if the Togekiss comes in, we're in trouble. Well, okay, we're not in trouble. It's actually better if the Togekiss were to come in. Okay, so the Togekiss does come in. I am going to run a damage calc because I do not want to die in vain. Dying in vain is the worst thing you could possibly do. And so I'm going to quickly look up Togekiss. Most Togekiss are... they're not defensive. Most of them are Scarf, but then there's also Roost Thunder Wave. So Flare Blitz, if it's there's a problem with Flare Blitz in that, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to do the safe play. I'm going to go into Zapdos because that's the safe play, because if it wants the Thunder Wave, I can go into Zapdos and do whatever the hell I want to do. So that's the safe play, to go into Zapdos and just not Thunder Wave, but Thunderbolt and all that nice stuff. Right, so it's going to Thunder Wave, and because it's Thunder Wave, that means it's maximum defense. And I know for a fact that maximum defense is going to withstand a Flare Blitz without Swords Dancing first, and that's why I had to do that. That was the safest play. I'm going to use a Thunderbolt. I don't care what's in the back waiting for me because of this Togekiss. Okay, this Togekiss is faster. All right, that is interesting. If we can paralyze this Togekiss, we'd be in beautiful shape. Is it worth going for a para? I think it is. It can't Thunder Wave us, and Air Slash can't do anything. And I'm sure it has a Dazzling Gleam as a fourth move, so if we can para this, we basically kill it. So we'll just keep on Thunderbolting. Unfortunately, I don't have PP Max Thunderbolt, but it's alright. I mean, I have pressure. I mean, Zapdos' ability is pressure, so this thing can only use Roost 8 times. I can Thunderbolt and Roost, like, I'm free to do whatever I want to do, basically. You can go, that thing can go for flinches, but it's alright because it doesn't do that much damage. I can Roost up every 3, Air Slashes. Plus, it has a 5% chance of missing. You never know when that thing comes through. It did get a crit, so that is something. We do have a very, very good chance of winning this. I want to go for the Thunderbolt. As I just said, I'm going to keep on going for them Thunderbolts. We get a para eventually. I mean, it's going to come. It's going to happen. But it might not happen as well. So that's a thing you have to watch out for too. But it's fine. Thunderbolt is our best move anyway because it's our strongest move. Now, I don't have a PP maxed Thunderbolt. So that will be very disastrous. Now, honestly speaking, I think I could have went into Blaziken and did some work when it had really low health, but I mean, I guess my best move was actually not to do that. Unfortunately, I feel like if this thing does not get paralyzed, I'm in very, very bad shape because I won't be able to... I'm going to run out of Thunderbolts. I'm not sure how many times this thing used Roost. It probably used Roost like... if I used Thunderbolt 7 times, it used it 5 times already. So that's 10. That's 10 PP. So it can only use Roost 3 more times. So I have to keep that in mind. I have to Roost myself every turn here on after because the flinch chances are very, very real. Actually, I'm going to Thunderbolt. Forget it. I'm going to Thunderbolt. Forget it because... He could have went for Air Slashes. I'm going to Roost myself now because I think right now is a good turn to start roosting. But yeah, I mean, I thought he would have just went for Air Slashes at that point, and then he would just Air Slash until, like, because he probably thought he's going to end up dying. And honestly, I think that would have been a good move on my opponent's part. But it's fine, as long as we still have a health lead, it's awesome. Oh boy. Oh boy, he has Encore. Alright, I see what's cracking. It has Encore. Wow. Wow. And it's going to Encore me right now, or it's going to Thunder Wave. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt. I do not want to switch All right, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It can make me roost more and more. I honestly don't like that, but I did not want to risk my Blaziken getting Thunder Waved. And what is this? A Venusaur or a Blaziken? A Venusaur. All right. I see what's cracking. And it's gonna Giga Drain, it's gonna Leech Seed, it's gonna do all that disgusting stuff. I can only roost. This really, really stinks. Again, I didn't switch into Blaziken that turn because it was risky, you know. If I got Thunder Wave, my Blaziken it dies, and that's not what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm not supposed to be dying. And as long as I can burn this thing, I should be fine. That's what I feel. Again, burning is 10% chance, but it's fine. We just keep on attacking until something eventually happens. That was some serious relief. If that landed, I have no idea what I would have done. I have no clue. Anyways, I'm just going to Heat Wave. A burn would be nice. A burn doesn't have to come, but a burn would be nice. It has Synthesis. It can only use Synthesis how many more times? 3 more times. Only 3 more times, because from 8 it goes down to 6. It can only use Synthesis 3 more times. So I can potentially... So my win condition basically in my mind is I'm going to have to keep on using Heat Wave. I'm going to have to keep on using Heat Wave until Mega Blaziken can come in. And then Mega Blaziken can basically use Flare Blitz and finish it. However, that Leech Seed does not help our goals. That Leech Seed is disastrous. That Leech Seed right there was disastrous. Anyways, I'm just gonna roost up. I'm gonna do a quick calc and see what. All right, bold. Boy. Alright, so I need to do a quick calc about Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur is definitely defensive, otherwise it would have done more damage to my Zapdos. Yeah, I basically need to... Oh boy. I need to burn this thing. If I don't burn this thing, I am in the greatest amounts of trouble. This thing needs to get burned. If this thing gets burned, I can Swords Dance and then I win. $24 plus like 140. I'm gonna Heat Wave. That's last Heat Wave, and thankfully nothing has been missing. Now, if it gets burned, I have a super extremely... Okay, so there are no burns. It used Synthesis. I am in... I think I lose this game. I think I actually lose this game. I cannot express how disappointed I am. I legitimately lose this game. We'll see what happens. I am going to Swords Dance and I'm going to Flare Blitz because that's all I can do. That's all I can do. I'll just have to hope that something good happens. I'll have to hope that something really, really nice happens. Because there's no other way I'm going to win this. If it's a defensive... Yeah, I mean, +2 to a defensive Mega Venusaur. There's a chance it can one-hit KO. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but there is a chance. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't kill, then I lose. If it does kill, then I win the game. All right, so we are in fantastic shape. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. So the recoil killed us. This game could have otherwise been won. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Just by having bulk, you can kill a Blaziken. Otherwise, you pretty much lose. I could have had this, but you saw it for yourself. Leave a like. This was GroudonEmpire. Peace out.